Youth mental health is a complex challenge that requires comprehensive solutions. We must strengthen after-school programs. We must make digital literacy tools available in our schools. We must work with mental health professionals to support children. And we must empower mentors, educators, and parents to keep kids happy. Learn more about our commitment to finding lasting solutions at empowerourfuturecoalition.com/solutions. Paid for by the Coalition to Empower Our Future.
Hey moms and dads, if you're tired of getting the deer in the headlights response every time you bring up family plans with your kids, let me introduce you to your new best friend, the Skylight Calendar. Skylight Calendar was designed to help you manage the chaos of family life. Ditch the mental load of juggling everyone's schedules by pulling it all into one clear space. This all-in-one, smart touchscreen calendar brings visual structure and color coding across your schedules, tasks, lists, and other family needs. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to myskylight.com/get30. Go to myskylight.com/get30 for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That is myskylight.com/get30.
With its 2 juicy beef patties, 3 slices of melted cheese, and tangy Big Arch sauce, the Big Arch is what happens when you start making a McDonald's burger and never stop. The Big Arch, the most McDonald's burger yet, for a limited time.
Most all-in-one HR systems are a patchwork of disconnected and manual tools. Rippling is totally automated. If you promote an employee, Rippling can automatically handle necessary updates, from payroll taxes and provisioning new app permissions to assigning required manager training. That's why Rippling is the #1 rated human capital management suite on G2, TrustRadius, and Gartner. If you're ready to run the backbone of your business on one unified platform, head to rippling.com/acastbiz and sign up today. That's rippling.com/acastbiz to sign up. Hey moms and dads, if you're tired of getting the deer in the headlights response every time you bring up family plans with your kids, let me introduce you to your new best friend, the Skylight Calendar. Skylight Calendar was designed to help you manage the chaos of family life. Ditch the mental load of juggling everyone's schedules by pulling it all into one clear space. This all-in-one, smart touchscreen calendar brings visual structure and color coding across your schedules, tasks, lists, and other family needs. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to myskylight.com/get30. Go to myskylight.com/get30 for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That is myskylight.com/get30.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Toby.
And welcome to the Whispering Woods podcast. This episode is all about
night creatures of Afghanistan.
Yeah, we're going for some folklore. This subject called to me, but before actually the things started happening in the Middle East. So it seems a bit appropriate, I think. But first of all, if you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/The Whispering Woods, where we have a number of tiers and you can listen for a small monthly fee ad-free. I don't know if that made sense, but that's it. We're also on Apple Premium, where for $4.99 you can listen to all episodes ad-free. And just a quick reminder, we will be picking up the number of episodes from April. Right, let's get into it. There's some scary creatures in Afghanistan, in Afghan folklore. I think you say Afghan. I don't know. I'm really dizzy today.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready for the story?
Yes, I am.
Afghanistan's nights are haunted by more than just the echoes of war. In local legend, the darkness hides ancient demons, witches, and shape-shifting beasts. It should come as no surprise that the country known as the Graveyard of Empires has its share of ghost stories. For centuries, Afghans have spoken of night creatures that prey on the vulnerable. These tales draw from Persian, Central Asian, and Islamic influences, blending into something uniquely Afghan. In this episode, we'll delve into Afghanistan's dark folklore, from the child-stealing owl and her night-hag mother, to desert shapeshifters and jinn spirits, and even the experiences of soldiers who have encountered the unexplained. One of the most feared entities is the owl, a demon said to attack women who have just given birth. The name owl means red in Persian, hinting at its bloody nature. Belief in a child-stealing witch of this type dates back to ancient Mesopotamians' Lamastum and is paralleled by the Lilith legend, an ancient pedigree of terror that still persists. In Afghan and Iranian folklore, the owl personifies the dangers of childbirth complications. It strikes in the aftermath of delivery, when the mother is weak and alone. Some say the mother is at risk only for the first 6 days after childbirth. Others say she's in danger until she can go out and bathe. Everyone agrees that if the owl visits, the result is severe illness and likely the death of the mother. Usually the owl is invisible, attacking in the dead of night when others are asleep. But those who claim to have seen it give disturbing descriptions. According to a number of accounts, the owl may appear as a wretched old woman or a female devil, hunched and haggard. Others say it's a tall, wild-haired creature covered in hair, with a red face and burning eyes. Red is its signature colour, as its name implies. In all versions, it's not human. It's a demonic crone that slips into the birth room to wreak havoc on mother and newborn. The modus operandi of the owl is the stuff of nightmares. In some regions, people say the owl steals a new mother's liver or placenta and flees with it. If it manages to carry the organ across running water, the mother will die, her life force literally taken. Folk remedies even suggest if the family can stop the demon before it crosses the stream, the organ can be recovered and the mother saved. Other stories claim that the owl carries the organs in a basket, cackling as it vanishes into the night. All of this symbolically explains a mother's sudden collapse after birth. In an era before medical science, how else to make sense of a healthy young woman growing feverish and dying days after delivery? The answer: the demon did it. Midwives and family members have developed elaborate precautions to ward off the owl. The creature is said to run from iron, coal, the colour black, and the smell of onions. Any one of these can burn it like acid. So traditional birth rooms bristle with talismans. People will bury the afterbirth immediately in a secret spot so the owl cannot find it. Often the placenta is interred along with a needle or iron nail, a lump of coal, and a few grains of rue seed as protective charms. New mothers may wear an iron bracelet on the wrist as protection. In many communities, relatives stick onions on a skewer and hang them above the mother's bed, or place an onion on the tip of a sword under her pillow. The pungent smell is believed to repel the demon. Some midwives draw a charcoal line around the room, or even tie a black woolen rope around the bed, creating a boundary the evil cannot cross. All these measures turn the mother's room into a fortress. The battle with the El is ongoing, but with vigilance and these defences, families hope to keep mother and child safe. Even more feared in some Afghan communities is Mada-i-El, whose name literally means Mother of the Al. If the Al is a demon attacking mothers, Mada-i-El is the greater hag who preys on the newborn baby. Described as a nocturnal hag, Mada-i-El creeps in darkness to snatch infants from their cribs and slaughter them. She is essentially Afghanistan's bogeyman. In Afghan folklore, this hag's legend has been used to frighten children into obedience. By most accounts, Mada-i-El only appears at night. By day she does not exist. But once night falls, every cradle must be guarded. She is often envisioned as an old witch-like woman, ugly, hunchbacked, perhaps with long red hair, a trait she shares with the Al demons, and fiery eyes. While the Al targets the mother's life force, Mada-i-El targets the infant. She slips into a dark room where an infant sleeps, and the baby vanishes, carried off to be devoured. In the morning, only an empty cradle remains, and a mother's horrified screams. This is the fate every parent fears most. So naturally, a supernatural culprit was imagined to personify that terror. Folk tradition offers some defence against the infant snatcher. One widely practiced ritual is the burning of wild rue seeds. Parents or grandparents would toss the seeds onto hot coals, producing a fragrant, acrid smoke. It's not just a pleasant incense. It's believed to fumigate the area and repel evil. Mothers will waft this smoke around the baby's crib, specifically to ward off Mada-i-El. The pungent aroma of burning rue is said to make the hag flee. In Afghan culture, burning rue seeds is a very common protective ritual, used not only against Mada-i-El, but against the evil eye and jinn in general. Like her offspring, the El, Mada-i-El is also thought to hate iron and onions. An iron blade under the baby's pillow or a small iron nail in the crib can keep the hag at bay. Hanging an onion or garlic nearby is likewise a deterrent. Some tales even speak of Al-Ata, a lord of evil consort to Mada-i-El, though this is a more obscure aspect of the myth, possibly influenced by Turkic folklore. The core image remains the same, an ancient, wrinkled witch, lurking beyond the threshold at midnight, sniffing for the scent of a newborn. The Div or Div is a creature of legend that Afghans inherited from the broader Persian and Central Asian cultural sphere. In its purest form, a Div is a demon or ogre, a monstrous giant that appears in many folk tales and epic stories. Children in Afghanistan grow up hearing about divs the way Western kids hear about giants or trolls. These beings are massive, man-like monsters with a taste for human flesh. They are analogous to ogres in European fairy tales, brutal, strong, and usually not very bright, but with an extra dose of the supernatural. In Persian mythology, which deeply influences Afghan lore, divs are often pitted against heroes and are emblematic of evil and chaos. Physically, the div is terrifying. Classic descriptions say it towers above a man, with a hulking, muscular body. It typically has horns protruding from its head, a shaggy mane of hair, and 2 long fangs jutting from its jaws. Its skin or hair is often jet black, and its eyes may shine an unnatural blue or glow red in some stories. It has claws on its hands and feet, a kind of creature that could rip a person apart easily. Most divs in folklore do eat people. As one scholarly source notes, in Persian epic literature, demons are often black, with long teeth, claws on their hands, and large bodies covered with thick black hair. Often they eat people. Divs are not subtle spirits or invisibles. They are very much physical monsters. They show up in countless Afghan folk tales. Divs typically live in remote mountains, caves, or ruins. Afghanistan's landscape of rugged mountains and remote caves provides a perfect backdrop. Interestingly, it's said that divs are nocturnal. According to lore, they are creatures of darkness who sleep by day and roam by night. They prefer the hours when humans are blind and vulnerable. This aligns with their fundamentally contrary nature. One source says that demons in Persian lore were often called Varuna, inside out or contrary, because they do the opposite of what humans do. While divs in literature sometimes have complex roles, some serve kings or are magically bound by heroes in epics. In Afghan folklore, they usually play the role of the man-eating giant, straightforward embodiments of evil. The div might be blamed for mysterious disappearances. It's common to use the term dio or div to describe someone monstrously ugly or huge. And wolves are not the only beasts that men become under a full moon. In Afghanistan and surrounding regions, folklore speaks of the were-hyenas, known in Persian as kaftar. This is a concept that may surprise outsiders, but it's well rooted in the Persianate folklore of Central and South Asia. Instead of the European werewolf, Afghanistan has the were-hyena, a creature that can shapeshift into a hyena and back into human form. By day, it might walk among us as an ordinary man or woman. By night, it slips into the skin of a striped hyena and goes on the hunt. Hyenas do exist in Afghanistan, primarily the striped hyena, which prowls the more arid regions. Encounters between villagers and hyenas raiding livestock could well have inspired these stories. The were-hyena legend holds that certain people, often witches or those with dark magic, can transform at will. In some tales, the person is a hyena masquerading as human by day. A reverse werewolf scenario. Either way, the result is deadly. The kaftar preys on humans under cover of night and feasts on their flesh. Come sunrise, it resumes human guise, hiding among the community. Researchers have noted that where hyena law stretches from North and East Africa across the Middle East, where hyena law stretches from North and East Africa across the Middle East, as far west as Morocco and Sudan, Berber and Arab stories tell of men or women who turn into hyenas after dark. There were even medieval Persian texts describing how to cure someone afflicted with kaftar, shape-shifting. One Persian treatise from 1376 describes a half-man, half-hyena being called kaftar that kills children, and gives prescriptions on how to counteract such a creature. Afghan were-hyena is generally associated with remote areas and with outcasts or suspicious figures. For example, in some African versions, it was often blacksmiths who were suspected of turning into hyenas due to their occult crafts. And like Western werewolves, where hyenas prefer the night, they usually operate alone, but sometimes are said to hunt in packs, making them even more terrifying. One particularly frightening aspect of were-hyena lore is the creature's ability to mimic human voices. Accounts say they can call out a person's name in the darkness in a perfectly human voice to lure the victim away from safety. Afghan elders sometimes warn youngsters not to respond to strange voices at night, as it could be a kaftar trying to draw them out. Ordinary weapons might not stop it. Some stories say you must use a special bullet or charm. But unlike the virtually indestructible jinn or demons, the were-hyena is still flesh. It can be killed. And if slain in beast form, it will revert to human form upon death, exposing the culprit. And no discussion of Afghan folklore is complete without the jinn. Jinn or jinn, according to Islamic belief, are invisible spirits made of smokeless fire who live alongside humans. They are mentioned in the Quran and accepted as real by many Muslims. In Afghanistan, belief in jinn is widespread, blending Islamic theology with older pre-Islamic spirit beliefs. Every Afghan community has jinn tales. They can be benevolent, malevolent, or simply capricious. People say jinn haunt abandoned places, ruins, and desolate landscapes. And Afghanistan has plenty of those. An empty fort on a hill, a lonely spring in the mountains, a derelict house on the outskirts of a village. Travellers traditionally avoid certain places at night, or recite Quranic verses to protect themselves from wandering jinn. Jinn in Afghan folklore appear in many guises. They might appear as animals, black dogs, snakes, or feral-looking humans, as seductive figures, or as horrific apparitions. Or they may not appear at all, but make their presence known through eerie laughter, whispering voices, or poltergeist-like activity. Many misfortunes are blamed on jinn, sudden inexplicable illnesses, a person's drastic change in personality, attributed to jinn possession, or mysterious accidents. The line between mental health crisis and jinn possession is blurry in traditional communities. A person who suddenly acts insane or violent might be taken to a mullah or shaman for exorcism rather than a doctor. This is a continuation of old shamanistic practices in the region, where special folk healers, sometimes called malangs or saints, claim to negotiate with or expel jinn from afflicted individuals. What's common is that jinn represent the unknown. They are the noise in the dark you can't explain, the dread you feel in an empty field at midnight. Afghans are careful not to outright offend them. For instance, one doesn't loudly boast, "I'm not afraid of jinn," because that's considered inviting trouble. A jinn might just show up to prove you wrong. Even in the modern era, these beliefs persist. Educated urban families might smile at some of the old wives' tales, but even they will have at least one anecdote in the family attributed to jinn. In rural Afghanistan, it's simply taken for granted that unseen beings share our world. Afghanistan's folklore of night creatures has gained new chapters during the modern wars. The last few decades saw thousands of foreign soldiers deployed across Afghanistan's remote valleys and deserts. Alongside firefights and patrols, some of these soldiers came home with unexplainable stories. Encounters that sound like they leapt straight out of an ancient myth. In many cases, locals had long known those places were haunted or cursed, but the outsiders learned the hard way. Beyond ghosts of humans, there are accounts of otherworldly creatures in the war zone. Some US personnel have told stories that sound a lot like encounters with jinn or demons. One tale, circulated on forums and later summarised in a podcast, described an incident at an airfield base. Soldiers responding to a nighttime alarm saw a lone intruder crawling over the perimeter fence. The figure didn't heed warnings, so the Americans opened fire. One shot hit the target and the man fell. But as he dropped, the soldier saw black smoke gush out of his body. The smoke didn't dissipate. It coalesced into a dark humanoid shape, standing over the fallen man, with glowing red eyes glaring at them. Then it laughed. The terrified soldiers watched as this smoky entity took a few steps and then vanished into the night. When they approached, the corpse and the spectre were gone. They had no explanation. One of them muttered that it looked like the suicide bomber's soul, or a demonic jinn escaping. Whatever it was, a being made of smoke with red eyes, became part of their unit lore, something they agreed never to discuss officially. Notably, variations of the red-eyed smoke creature have appeared in multiple soldiers' accounts across different units. Another unit, this time in Iraq, but with parallels to Afghan experiences, reported an abandoned compound that they called the Ghost Town. US military police, who stayed there, couldn't handle it. Doors opened and closed on their own. Footsteps ran up and down hallways at night. And worst of all, they saw children's faces peering in at them through the windows. These were not local children. The area was deserted. Grown men refused to sleep there after a week of this. When infantry soldiers took over perimeter security near that ghost housing, they too experienced nightly phenomena. They would hear the unmistakable sound of children laughing and playing in the empty darkness, and even had pebbles thrown at them by invisible hands while on watch. Thermal scopes showed nothing, even as the laughter echoed around them. It got so routine that they simply endured it, since they couldn't leave their posts. The folklore of Afghanistan's night creatures is not a relic of the past. It is a living tradition, adapting and surviving through centuries of change, from remote mountain hamlets to war-torn outposts. The same themes of unseen evil and the struggle to counter it continue to play out. In Afghanistan, a land that has seen empire after empire come and go, the folkloric monsters seem to be the most enduring empire of all. An empire of the imagination and the night. Locals often say that outsiders come with big guns and machines, but they don't know the rules of the land. Those rules include respecting the invisible forces that the Afghans have respected for ages. The British at O.P. Rock, perhaps, learned those rules just in time.
We all prefer things a certain way, like groceries. If you want groceries just how you like them, you gotta try Instacart. They have a new preference picker that lets you pick how ripe or unripe you want your bananas. Shoppers can see your preferences up front, helping guide their choices. Because when it comes to groceries, the details matter. Instacart. Get groceries just how you like.
With its 2 juicy beef patties, 3 slices of melted cheese, and tangy Big Arch sauce, the Big Arch is what happens when you start making a McDonald's burger and never stop. The Big Arch, the most McDonald's burger yet, for a limited time.
Spooky, and especially spooky, I found personally, the demon that goes after women who have just given birth. I suppose it makes sense, because you are particularly vulnerable, especially back in the day. Giving birth was extremely hazardous, and without proper medical assistance, I think I'd have been dead. Well, I would have, because you boys were both emergency cesarean sections, and Maisie got stuck. So, right, without going to hospital, I probably wouldn't be here, and nor would you guys. So that's scary. And also the ogre, very typical in mountainous regions. Just to say as well, the other story about the OP Rock, we have covered that in another episode, so I didn't want to repeat myself. But that is a spooky story, and it could possibly involve one of the ogre type creatures as well. But I'm getting all the vibes at the moment because of the outbreak of war. Everything feels a bit sort of unsteady, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're going to war.
Well, yeah, and it just, like, from another angle, all the things that war brings, the loss of life, terror, it doesn't even bear thinking about it. So I would rather think about the folklore creatures. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.
Because they're scary, but in a different way. Just in a very different way.
Yeah.
So you're predicting all-out war, are you, Tobes?
Yeah.
You're getting yourself ready. I'm getting ready to break your legs so you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It'll be painful, but I'll be doing it. It'll be painful for me, not as painful for you.
Yeah, it'll be painful for you, yeah.
It will be. It would be. If I had to break your legs. I shouldn't even laugh about it, but there we go. It's a kind of a morbid, what do they call it?
Dark humour.
Yeah, it's not dark humour, but it's like gallows humour. Like before people used to go and get hung. They just what can you do apart from laugh?
Yeah.
You know? What can you do?
Well, that's it in this episode. I hope you enjoyed and we'll catch up with you again soon.
We will indeed. I'll catch up with you on Thursday for the Reddit episode with Rog. And again on Sunday for the After Dark episode. Hope you're all staying well out there as well.
Yeah, don't get bombed.
Sending you big hugs and love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish all the people safety.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
With its 2 juicy beef patties, 3 slices of melted cheese, and tangy Big Arch sauce, the Big Arch is what happens when you start making a McDonald's burger and never stop. The Big Arch, the most McDonald's burger yet, for a limited time.
Youth mental health is a complex challenge that requires comprehensive solutions. We must strengthen after-school programs. We must make digital literacy tools available in our schools. We must work with mental health professionals to support children. And we must empower mentors, educators, and parents to keep kids happy. Learn more about our commitment to finding lasting solutions at empowerourfuturecoalition.com/solutions. Paid for by the Coalition to Empower Our Future.
That's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop Wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
The stories told on the Whispering Woods are inspired by historical records, witness reports, and local folklore. While every effort is made to research and represent events accurately, some details, names, and locations may differ from official accounts or have been changed out of respect for those involved. These episodes are created for storytelling and entertainment purposes and should not be considered definitive fact or investigative journalism.